What's up, guys? I'm Ivan, co founder of Mastery Leap, and today we'll be talking about how to go about decreasing your email unsubscribe rate through Klaviyo. So let's dive into this. Now, what's very important is for you to first understand what are the benchmarks? What's a good unsubscribe rate? What's a bad unsubscribe rate? Because if you're in a good slash great area, then you don't need to touch anything, There's always room for improvement. So ultimately, you can still implement these steps regardless. Now, what you can do first of all is go on Google and search up Klaviyo benchmarks for unsubscribe rate. From there, you're going to see, based on your industry, what is a good, great unsubscribe rate. Now, generally speaking, 0.5% and below, or in other words, between 0 to 0.5, it's great. You don't need to touch anything you're within a good boundary. If you're upwards from that, going to 1%, 2%, major changes need to be made. Now, things you want to think about, first of all, is how relevant are your emails to your audience when you're sending them out? For instance, if you're selling clothes to men and women, like you have two different segments like that, and you're sending female clothing to men, well, unsubscribe rate is undeniably going to be up or a lot higher because men would want to see female clothing and vice versa, right? So you want to understand how relevant is the content. Are you segmenting? Are you delivering content to the people that have subscribed to you, which is relevant to them and is something that they like? Something to also consider is there dissonance in your emails based on what you're offering? For instance, is your subject line not aligned with your email, and what you say in the subject line is not relevant to actual email just so you can get them to click? Something else you can think about is your email on brand, like the design of it with the actual website and what they used to actually seeing? All right, there's many different factors, and really consider what are all the factors that could get someone to not like what they're seeing, right? And from there, ultimately, this is number one, what you want to consider. Number two is how often do you send out emails? You want to always be testing. You want to find the fine line between maximizing the amount of emails going out, therefore to generate revenue, and minimizing churn, therefore unsubscribe rate. So then you want to be testing. Maybe if you're sending out, I don't know, let's say 5 campaigns a week, and your unsubscribe rate is quite high, then just go down, maybe go down to 2 campaigns, 3 campaigns, and see what if there are any changes. And if you go down to the boundary or within that great area, 0 to 0.5 unsubscribe rate, then that's perfect. Maybe try and up it to 3 and see how things are, right? So you want to be testing, really seeing what is the ideal weekly amount of emails or campaigns that you can be sending where you're maximizing revenue, building relationships, all of that good stuff, and minimizing churn. That's number two, what I'd suggest you guys consider. Now, the other thing that I would suggest, and this is something that I have not really heard many people speak about, is testing out trying to use a snooze button on your emails. Just like you snooze your alarm, or some people snooze their alarm in the morning, is having a mechanism like this for your emails. So, what this ultimately means is that above the unsubscribe button, you have maybe either one or two options, where one option could be snooze for 2 weeks, another option could be snooze for 30 days. And, ultimately it's about like minimizing the unsubscribes, just because let's say someone doesn't want to really see many emails in this time period. Maybe they're busy, maybe they're not interested in buying something. So it could be a good way to just delay emails for those people, but later on obviously still have them in the actual email list. Obviously you would, when they click the snooze button, you would put them into a list, and from there you exclude them from any segments that you are sending out emails to. Another thing you can try, which is very similar, is unsubscribe, like a button which says unsubscribe for 90 days, and that you want to play around with the time frames and really see, based on the product you're selling, based on your audience, what would be the ideal time frame where you're not, telling them to unsubscribe for 1 year, but at the same time you are very respectful and you're minimizing the unsubscribes. So having said this, hopefully you found this very valuable, and I'll see you in the next video.